Hey, I'm back. Well, I didn't really go anywhere. I did go on a trip, as I said in my last vlog. I did come back some time ago. Unfortunately, when I came home, I had some stuff I had to do, and turned out we had family coming to town, so I had to, do that. This is probably not the video a lot of you were expecting me to do after I took my little break and did my vlog. I have my top fives written. I will hopefully get to film those tomorrow, maybe, if not the next day. I like to film them all at once, that way I can edit them and slowly release them while I work on other stuff. And you see there's a little behind the scenes info for you. But in the meantime, just to have a video to tide people over, I decided to do a little vlog about the time I got to pitch an animated series. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really openly talked about this much, certainly not on YouTube. And it happened a little over a year ago, so I think enough time has passed where I can discuss what happened and how I got a great opportunity like that, and why I'm not in Hollywood right now making a show. But anyway, so when I decided to go back to college for film and animation, I learned about a conference, an animation conference in Miami. It's called the MIA Animation Festival. It's a really great conference to go to. It's a bit expensive, but if you can, if I know most of you don't live in Florida, but if you can ever manage to get out there and afford to get out there, really, definitely try it. It's a really good opportunity. They have lectures from people from the industry, and they have a film contest, and you can see all the independent animated films that come out. And they actually have a YouTube channel too, so you can see a lot of the winners of the film contest. So maybe I'll put a link to that in the description. You can check out some of those. But anyway, it's a really great conference. I got to meet a lot of really cool people from Disney and Cartoon Network and DreamWorks, and they have also people from the gaming industry come in and talk about stuff. I got to meet Conrad Montgomery, who is at the time he was the head of new shows at Cartoon Network. I don't know if he's still doing that. I know he's producing. I think he's a producer on like OKKO and a couple other shows. So that was really cool. I got to meet him. He showed us a preview of Stakes, the Adventure Time miniseries that was going to come out at the time. So we got to see the first episode of that. And yes, you get to see like upcoming stuff, previews of things. I got a sneak preview of Star vs. the Forces of Evil, because I had been going before that had come out. Not to get sidetracked, but there is a very funny story. During Conrad's lecture, he took questions, and someone actually asked him about Young Justice. His response to it was kind of priceless, because they asked I forget exactly what the question was, but Young Justice was brought up, and they mentioned the cancellation, and he was like, "I'm so sorry. We really liked the show, but the numbers weren't there." It was like, it did feel very genuine the way he was saying that. He also said a lot of other things, a lot of things that really is good for people like me. He knows J.G. Quintel, the creator of Regular Show, who's going to be doing a new show, I think, on TBS real soon. I got to check that out. He said that J.G. kind of hates his art style, and he doesn't think he's a good artist, where I think most people would disagree with that. So it's really cool, especially for someone as artistically challenged as myself, for someone who hates their art style to actually make a cartoon. I even got to ask him, because I'm an animation critic on YouTube. I actually asked him, I have ambitions of, doing my pitching an animated series or doing my own animated series one day. Do you feel that me being an animation critic will hinder that at all? Like, maybe people will like go back and watch my videos, say, "Oh, you talk trash about this. We're not gonna." And he said, "Nah, it shouldn't be a problem." It's really cool. I got to meet so many other really cool people. I can go on and on about this. A lot of VFX people there too. I met someone from DreamWorks who worked on DreamWorks. Actually, got his start animating the opening sequence of The Return of Jafar, the sequel to Aladdin. I forget his name. He's a really nice Australian gentleman. He's really cool. He showed us a lot of his sketches, told us about himself. Also met a VFX artist. Again, I can't remember what his name is. He is the guy responsible for the Garfield movies, the CGI Garfield. He animated that. He animated Aslan from Chronicles of Narnia, the tiger from Life of Pi. But he said basically his specialty seems to be CGI felines, which seems to be that. He also worked on the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies, and I believe Jurassic World, and a bunch of other stuff too. Again, really cool animation festival, really cool place to go. You can hear from all different people. Again, if you can afford to go, I'd highly recommend going. But enough about that. I had been going there for about a year or two, I think, and then I found out that they have a pitch contest. You can submit a pitch for an animated series, and you can potentially go into the finalists and actually get to pitch to industry people, like actual people from a studio or a network or something like that. So I had heard about that once, and then one summer I decided I'm going to throw something together and see if they like it. So I had this idea, and I was having a little bit of trouble with it, so I invited a friend over to look at it, and she decided to help me out, which is great because, great for me, but not so much for her, because I think she was in her final year of college, and she was, suddenly decided to, pitch in with this, so I gave her co-writer credit. So we threw this show together. I'm not going to say much about the show because I don't like openly, throwing my ideas out just into the ether like that, because I'm usually afraid people will steal them. I have a lot of shows. I have all different kinds of ideas, and a lot of them do mean a lot to me, and I've been told by many people that they're really good, and I don't want to risk, somebody just taking my idea. But anyway, we threw this thing together, and we submitted it with no artwork. Well, because while she's a much better artist than I am not a very good artist. I can sketch okay. I can, if I have to get an idea down, I can get it down. I've always had my eye maybe being a storyboard artist, because while there's a lot of really great storyboard artists out there, but mostly you just need to know how to set up a scene and sketch in already existing artwork, which I can do that. I can copy for the best of them. When it comes to making my own things, still a little rusty. But anyway, we submitted this. It was a Word document. I think it was like a 3-page Word document with just outlined the summary, and then more detailed synopsis, as well as characters, episode ideas, and all that. And we submitted it, and it got picked. That's insane. I think they said there was like over 200 submissions, and we made it to the final 6. We had no artwork. We submitted a pitch for an animated series with no artwork. That is insane. That's like going to a cook-off and a cooking competition and not having a plate under your food. It's like, oh yeah, it's basically what happened was like, oh yeah, it's kind of messy, but it's delicious. So you get to go to the finals. That is absolutely crazy. Like, to this day, I can't believe that. And it was kind of it kind of felt good that somebody had read that Word document. Someone had read my insane idea, and they believed in it. They actually they said, this sounds really good. I think we'll give them a shot. And like that's all I ever really ask for in life, is just to get a shot. Is just to have a fair chance. And wow, that was, you know, now that I think about it even more, it was quite, it's as long a shot as you can take, and somebody read it and really liked it and said, okay, let's see what you can do. So, you know, it was really exciting at first, but then I had talked to her over Facebook, and we were casually chatting, and I just messaged her, and it's like, oh, by the way, our pitch got approved. We're in the finalists, and we were both kind of freaking out because, like, oh God, we have no artwork. We have nothing to submit. Oh my God. So we scrambled, and we contacted people we knew. We contacted one of our professors from college, and see, you know, we're trying to get somebody that can help us. So we actually got into contact with a girl who actually was a classmate of ours, someone we had many classes with, who is a really good artist, who agreed to help us out. And the best part is she actually gave us some really, really good artwork, and she worked for free, which is insane. And I hate that I would ask, you know, an artist to work for free. You know, being a graphic designer myself, I get stuff like that all the time. It's like, can you do this, but I can't pay you. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And it was really cool that she got to do it. I think she mostly just really wanted to do drawings again. But she made us some really, really good artwork based on our pretty vague, my not so great illustration. Although one sketch of one character I was kind of proud of. The rest of them were just kind of not so good. Anyway, we had been in contact with her. We had her, you know, do a couple of different artwork, different sketches for us, and we approved a bunch of them. And she did really nice full color characters, and really nice, you know, lineup of the characters to use for a banner or a logo or something. And we threw together a really, really nice PowerPoint presentation, a really nice PDF. And we had been working. I think we didn't work all the way up to the last minute, because it seems like one of those situations where that would happen. But fortunately, we actually got done fairly early. We just had to make minor tweaks to things, and it was great because, you know, like I said, my friend was in her last year of college, and she had a lot on her plate already. But apparently, even she believed in this project enough to put that aside and make the time to, you know, help me develop the story and the characters, and you know, put together the pitch document, because she did the layout of the pitch document, and it was really, really good. So anyway, the day came, and well, actually, you know, I should backtrack and say that the girl we got to do the artwork didn't necessarily do it for free, because I bought her a ticket to the conference, and well, we split the amount for a ticket between me and my co-writer. So we did give her a, you know, a little opportunity to come and sit in, you know, all the lectures and meet a bunch of people. And getting ahead of myself a little, her artwork was very, very complimented by all different people, even the people we were pitching to. So yeah, so the day of the conference came. We had to pitch on the second day. It's a 2-day conference. So we got there really early. We dressed up nicely. We had our flash drive with our document on it, and we got to meet the other people that were pitching, and they were all really cool people. In fact, we made friends with a bunch of them. We went out to eat with one of the groups that was there. One guy was actually pitching 2 shows, which is really really cool. I should also mention that there is actually a fee to pitch. You have to actually pay to submit your thing, which I think is kind of stupid. But the fact that this guy actually pitched twice, he obviously had the extra cash to spend, and it's on top of the ticket to the convention. So it again, it is a very expensive convention, worth it, but very expensive. But anyway, we were talking with them, and before the pitch, it was like an hour before, and we were pretty nervous. We were pretty nervous. My partner in particular was really, really out there. I consider myself a reasonably calm individual, and even I was starting to feel it. A few things really do make me nervous. I think the only time I ever really get jittery or nervous is if I'm forced to go on a carnival ride or something, because I hate carnival rides. I hate roller coasters. I don't do any of that. That's like that's my one weakness. I don't do that. But I did start getting that feeling, like I was pacing a little bit. I was trying to, keep a clear head, know exactly what I wanted to say, and how I was going to say it. So the pitch, the time they give us to pitch is about 5 minutes, and I thought that we were not going to have enough time to fill that. So anyway, we went in, we started our pitch, we introduced ourselves. I should mention the people we were pitching to. I don't remember who their names were, but they were from Fox. They were it was a man, a woman. I think two guys and a woman, or it might have been two women and a guy. I don't remember, but they were from Fox, and they said, they were very friendly. I think they knew that this was a very, very stressful thing to do, so they were they were trying to be nice. I was like, okay, just get in front of there, do your thing. Don't worry if you screw up a little bit. And we got a pep talk from some of the convention staff too. They were helping. Everybody at that convention is very nice. So we did our pitch, and I handed, we went back and forth a little bit. The girl, we got to do the artwork. She didn't say much. I think she commented on her artwork a little bit, and the people who ran the pitching actually complimented her quite a bit. She actually got her work compared to Bruce Timm, which is really cool. So we were talking. And remember when I said I didn't think we'd have enough to fill 5 minutes? Well, apparently we had more than 5 minutes because we got cut off. That was a bit jarring. Fortunately, I think we got everything we needed to say, and they told us to stick around for a couple minutes, and they were going to ask questions, and they asked us like, where do you see the show premiering, and things like that. And in terms of where this particular show would premiere, I think maybe like Netflix or Hulu or some online platform would be best, because mostly because if I do pitch an idea to a network, I'm gonna be very, very concerned about that, especially if it's Cartoon Network, which seems to not care about new shows, or Disney, which the thing about Disney, with a few minor exceptions like Alex Hirsch, who does Gravity Falls, Disney interferes a lot with their shows, and a lot of my ideas, they mean a lot to me, and I'm not. It's not that I'm not open to notes and suggestions. It's just that if someone comes in and tells me you have to do this or you have to do that, that's when I'm like, yeah, this is my idea. I'm not doing that. But anyway, so we did our pitch. They said thank you very much. You guys were wonderful, and we walked out, and then it was like, whoa, just it felt really good walking out of that room. Like a weight has been lifted. We were all like, oh God, do you feel that? So anyway, so that was our pitch. So we had the rest of the day to do stuff, and we after that, I think we went to get lunch because we needed a break, and we tried to we checked out some of the other lectures and everything, and then at the end of the conference is when they have the film festival where they show all the independent animated films, and that's also where they announce the winners of the pitch contest. Now, this particular year, they actually had entries for two demographics. It was like 13 and up and 12 and under, I believe. I believe we pitched to 13 and up because of our show is a little bit more adult than a lot of shows. Like, let me put it this way: like most people go for stuff like Adventure Time and Teen Titans Go. My ideas are more like Avatar: The Last Airbender type of things. Action, adventure, comedy. Some kind of crazy out there concepts and stuff like that. So they announced the winner of the 12 and under demographic, so that was cool. And then they were gonna announce the winner of the other one, and we were like, oh god, we were all like, I think I was biting my knuckles when they were announcing, and of course we didn't get picked. So, but given the, you know what though, a few things started to make sense after that. First of all, we were pitching the Fox, which, given the nature of our show, I don't think that would really go over so well with Fox. You know, Fox cares more about, you know, Simpsons, Family Guy, that kind of, the family comedy, stuff like that. Occasionally they try other things, but it doesn't usually work out. And the other thing was, I believe the guy's idea that got picked, his idea was really good. Like you know, all of the show ideas were really good. And that's pretty much why they got picked, you know. But yeah, it was that was pretty much our experience pitching an animated series to some actual network executives. It was a very, very surreal experience. It was one of those things that, like, you feel like you would never ever get to do, and I just did it. You know, I took a risk, and it was a big risk too, because I would never in a million years thought I would get picked. But again, apparently somebody believed in that idea enough to give me a shot. And, you know, who am I? You know, when you hear about animated series, you know, the creators of an animated series, it's always like, oh, created by this person who worked on this show, and the creator of that show worked on this show, and it's like a train of just like talent that just keeps going and going. And I don't think very often you hear just some person out of the woodwork got the opportunity to do something like this. And it was a very, very educational experience too, because now that I've done it, I kind of know how to improve upon it, and what to do for next time and what to expect. And I think I would still like to actually pitch to that particular conference at some point. Now, as for the show idea that we pitched, again, I'm not going to reveal too much about it, but we've decided that we're going to shelve the idea for now, just kind of put a pin in it, because, well, even with the concept we have, I think we still need to put a little work into it. And right now, me and my coworker are kind of busy developing our own separate ideas, so that we can, perhaps pitch that, on our own at some point. Also, since I came up with the idea, the only thing I will reveal about the concept was that it was an urban fantasy. It was in the time that I pitched that, there are a lot of things that have come out that is a world somewhat similar to what I was going for. Not entirely exact, but somewhat similar. Like there's that movie Bright on Netflix. There was that show Mysticons on Nickelodeon, I believe it's on. And around the time I came up with the idea, Troll Hunters had come out on Netflix. And of all the things that have come out, that Troll Hunters is actually somewhat close to what the idea I had was. And it's very, very different, but there are so many similarities that, should it have ever gotten made, I feel like people would, point their finger and say that I ripped it off. And until this kind of thing dies down a little bit, I don't think that idea is going to see the light of day. And because, the last thing I really want is for someone to say to me that I ripped off an idea. And granted, a lot of my ideas are based on other things, just, like a lot of other ideas. But I do not want to be accused of plagiarism, especially from someone I respect, like Guillermo del Toro, who made Troll Hunters. But anyway, that's pretty much my story. I really do hope I get the opportunity to do this again sometime. I really hope I just generally get the opportunity to you pitch an idea and make something, because you know I've talked about cartoons for, oh man, going on like 8 years now, I think. When did I start doing this? 2002, 2009, 2010, something like that. And you know, I've got tired of reviewing and criticizing and talking, and you know, I want to make my own thing. You know, I want to make my own pilot or mini series or animated series or something like that. And I have many ideas, many of which that I have come up with when I'm bored at my job, or if I'm at my job and there is work to do, and I just want to be somewhere else. My imagination kind of goes wild, and I come up with all kinds of crazy concepts and characters and things like that. And I have a good handful of ideas that I have almost entirely developed, and I would really like to get them done one day. I'm hoping, you know, maybe me doing this on YouTube, I can, you know, maybe become friends with some artists or animators or something that might want to, you know, if anyone out there wants to work on a project, you know, hit me up. I'm full of ideas. My co-writer too has some really cool ideas too. Maybe maybe I can get her in on this. We have been looking into other things like smaller studios, and we tried to contact Rooster Teeth, but they're very difficult to get a hold of. But yeah, I kind of right now I have actually two other ideas that I've been developing sort of simultaneously. One is my most prioritized one, the one that if I do get to pitch again will be the one. And another one is a very personal project that I have, and it's a very difficult thing to produce and to probably get out there, mostly because I'm very, like I said, I'm very artistically deficient. I've been trying so hard to improve my artwork and my character design, and it's so difficult. And I can sketch ideas, but I don't know what it is, but I just never seem to be able to get better. Hopefully, any artists I'm able to collaborate with will maybe you know, take a look at some of the sketches I've done, not laugh at them, and you know, turn them into something presentable for people to see it or put into a pitch bible or something like that. But yeah, if there are people out there that want to collaborate, you know, hit me up. I have so many ideas. If anyone wants to do some animation or anything, I really hate to not. That's the other thing too. I don't have a lot of money, and I hate being that guy that's like, I can't pay you, and if you refuse, it's totally fine. But you know, I could always do like the GoFundMe or Kickstarter way. But you know, I'm not gonna keep that. I'm not gonna deny that idea if we have, you know, the people and the means by which to do it. So you know, if you do really good things for me, I definitely want to pay you. But it's very difficult right now. Oh yeah, the other one, the personal idea I have, the one that really means a lot to me. I've actually been outlining the story right now, and I've been trying to novelize it, but the more I novelize, and I really enjoy writing it. It's just when I have the time to write it, of course. But every time I do writing for it, it's just like I don't want this to be text. I want this to be a visual thing, and it's just very difficult for someone who talks so much about cartoons and can't make one themselves. You know. But yeah, so that's my story about me getting the opportunity to pitch to some executives. It was a really cool opportunity I got. Again, it was very educational, very surreal, and it's one of those things that I just never thought would happen. But I submitted a text document for an animated series, and someone really liked it. So that was really cool. So. All right, I've been going on for a long time. I don't even know how many people are going to stay to the end of this. I don't know how many people found this interesting. I hope some people did, because this is one of the more interesting things that I've ever had to talk about, I think. But anyway, I think that'll do it. I have other stuff I got to do. And again, if anyone out there wants to collaborate, hit me up. If any crazy millionaires out there want to cut me a check and fund a project, I'm not hard to get a hold of. Oh geez, I shouldn't be doing that online. It's stupid. But yeah, that was my opportunity, and I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe I'll be back with more vlogs. Let me know if you want me to do more like casual vlogs like this, because I do have a lot of things I like to talk about. I just don't know how many people would be interested in it. But anyway, I think this is like the 4th or 5th time I'm ending this, so I think I'm going to end it now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.